So I guess it's only gonna let me do it like this. It's not gonna let me do the share like I was doing on a computer. It's okay. I'm gonna get better at doing this. But welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. It's gonna be a 30-minute discourse. So I'm not gonna sweat it. I hope all is well. Okay. So okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I just want to make sure I can see myself um, on my channel, but this is a public. I believe it is public. I believe it is public, but yeah. So I hope everyone is well. But I am the Archangel Elenia. This is my first time doing a webinar for astrology per se. I am going to leave this up for those who do come later. But I just wanted to basically do a webinar going over different parts of why astrology and coaching is extremely important. Astrology helps you to unlock your personal blueprint for growth. So, this is basically about how you can use your personal chart or any chart that you want to make for yourself to basically help you get ahead of the game and make your life how you want it to be and not follow traditional paths because as we all can see, the traditional paths are no longer viable. They're being transformed into something else, and it requires innovation, it requires uniqueness, it requires you to kind of be more engaged in knowing who you are, which is how astrology even comes into play in the first place. So today I'll just be showing you how astrology can be used as a practical tool to guide your life and clarify challenges and create real necessary changes. Okay. So the first thing I want to get into, since I can't like show my actual slide like I want to on my phone, basically the reason why a lot of people feel stuck is because they're missing opportunities and things of that nature. They keep repeating cycles and not understanding why, kind of getting caught up in like life and not taking the time to actually think about what the patterns are really trying to show you or teach you so you can actually understand what's going on. A lot of people may lack accountability or even guidance. So even though they can understand the patterns, but they keep allowing themselves to go through it. They're not looking for mentorship. They're not looking for guidance in the physical realm, like immediate guidance, or they're not looking for higher guidance to help them either. So, therefore, the lack of accountability comes in because they're not willing to make necessary changes in order to make their lives greater. They just keep allowing life to just roll over them over and over again. Okay. So astrology alone in itself is knowledge. It's connected to the sign Aquarius, right? And Aquarius is I know. Know is a shorter word for knowledge. So me being able to coach someone through their astrology is basically helping them to turn what they know about themselves into taking actual action for themselves, which then that energy, bounces off of them or, goes into the universe and comes back. Yes, but the people around you, the immediate environment is going to be affected by that person taking, intentional action using what they know to not only protect themselves, but allow themselves to grow and expand exactly in the way that they want to. So, I've given people chart readings before, just raw, random readings. Just working at fairs and stuff. People will just come up and they sit down and we just do a quick reading. And a lot of people always end up walking away kind of like feeling like they kind of have more of a deep connection to themselves that they didn't have before, or they have more clarity to a situation that may have been troubling them. And they always end up feeling very relieved because they just needed the confirmation from an outside source to tell them. And I'm not taking the place of their own higher consciousness. I'm just a vessel that's allowing myself to channel whatever energy that their ancestors or angel guides are trying to get to them that they have been missing or not paying attention to through their physical journey. All right. So, just to get into some quick insights, basically, what we want to do when it comes to using your astrology to personalize yourself as a growth plan, um, we basically is just setting everything up so that you can fulfill whatever important mission that you came here to do. Everybody came here with some type of like karma, yes, but the karma really is not about like you hurt this person so you get hurt back. The karma really is like the time that you're supposed to be spending on while you're here. So karma, which is tied to Saturn, of course, which also connects to your 10th house, is about your public status and how you show up in the world, in the physical reality, because Saturn rules the 3D, right? So, what you want to pay attention to, karmically speaking, when it comes to the 3D, because Neptune kind of deals with karma too, but on a spiritual level. Saturn's karma is more about, like I was saying, in the physical realm. So when you look at your astrology chart, you want to see what your 10th house looks like. You want to see what Saturn placement you have. You want to see if you have any aspects to Saturn, or if you where your Capricorn placements are, because that's going to tell you a lot about what you're supposed to be doing while you're living on Earth, what you're supposed to be doing with your time, where you're supposed to be putting the most effort with your energy when it comes to manifestation, because we're never not manifesting, we're always manifesting. It's just about, are you being intentional, or are you going off for someone else's, or your parent or guardian or other people who may have power or authority over you? Are you going off of their programming, or did you create your own programming? And usually around 28 to 30 years old, when we have our Saturn return, that's basically the reality we are constantly getting hit with over and over on the head. Is, are you living on an authentic life, or are you still attached to what your parents, or what a guardian or a teacher or someone else has told you how to live your life? Or are you finally gonna grow up and take life into your own hands, basically? Because that's what the Saturn return is supposed to do. It's supposed to awaken you to who you truly are. It's supposed to tell you, okay, these parts of your life that you've been giving your time and your attention to is not aligned to you. So we're gonna remove that out the way so you can live the life that you're actually supposed to be living. So when we get down to how we make decisions, we're looking at the phases of the moon at the best time to make decisions. We're looking at, is there a retrograde going on, as to what types of decisions that we can actually make. And when you're looking at your own natal chart, you want to look at what the moon was, what phase the moon was in when you were born. And you want to look at what aspects is the moon making to your sun. You want to look at your Mercury placements. You want to look and see if you have exalted placements, detriment placements, um, or domicile placements where you can be comfortable allowing that energy to express itself. And then all of those like tidbits of information all tie in to how we can create a foundation for you to learn yourself while learning astrology. That's basically what my diamond plan basically encapsulates, is your ability to go within yourself, dig within your own soul, and pull out the things that you already know, while I show you astrologically how they tie in and how they meet together. So then you can look at your own clock and see what time it is, any time of day, whenever day it is, whether it's your natal chart, draconic chart, or if it's a solar arc or progression, really a secondary progression chart. That's what we're supposed to be looking at. So we want to look at, what cycle are you currently in? What is the perfection year that you're currently in? All those play a role in your decision making as well. So, if this is resonated for you, make sure you thumbs up this video. Make sure you comment or leave something in the chat letting me know that this resonates with you so far. Be sure to share this, of course, with anyone who may be interested in astrology and learning how it can. Because astrology is not just about what your sun sign is or who you would be compatible with in a relationship or one-on-one partnership. Astrology really is an ancient tradition where you're able to communicate with your higher self, with your grounded self. So what astrology actually is, it is a symbolic system. It describes how energy moves. It's not about what you're allowed to be. So whatever you know about astrology already, just know that you can grow and expand in that. Astrology connects to, not only your relationships that you have in the world, it also connects to food, it also connects to herbs, it connects to the body parts. Okay, it helps connect you with the inside and the outside of you, then the world around you. There's a lot of different things that are manifestations in the world that are represented by sign or house or planet or all three or a combination of the three. Okay, so for me, I learned astrology myself through wanting to get to know myself more. All right. It was more about self awareness, trying to especially now, trying to understand how to have better relationships, looking into business management skills, as well as having a spiritual foundation. So I actually grew up in a very religious household. So astrology wasn't something that was openly spoke about nor practiced. So I had to kind of conceal my desire to know more about myself and the things that I would naturally gravitate to until I was able to get into a space where I was safe to go ahead and explore. I did a lot of personal research in learning my own chart, which I wanted to know each and every piece, not just about the parts that make me glitz and glamoury, but also the parts, definitely the parts of me that were kind of like hidden. And I'm still learning parts about my chart, even going through my learning more about my Vedic chart as well. It's still parts of my chart that I'm still learning this or still understanding as I grow in my understanding. But it took a lot of focus and intention to really look at my chart and figure out like the parts of me that I couldn't explain. The chart was able to basically tell me, and I was able to make connections with that. So, because I was able to gain more self awareness from learning astrology and reading my own chart, it influenced me to look at other people's chart and see what they have going on, what they're going through, what skills or assets they're naturally gifted with, where in their chart it shows their relationship routines, their relationship with their parents. What can they expect from being a parent or going into a certain career field? So astrology does matter. Most people live inside patterns and really don't recognize it, and they never really learn how to name that pattern. Astrology shows you where the pattern is, what type of pattern it actually is, and how you can use it to your advantage, and also how it can be used against you as far as self-sabotage. So it is a language, astrology, as to what's already happening, what you already have. So some common misunderstandings when it comes to astrology is when it comes to your chart, it's not about defining your worth. I know when I was younger, I used to get kind of intimidated or feel a little insecure when I see my boyfriend looking at compatibility with all the other signs, and I'm like, you only need to be looking at me and you. Why are you looking at everybody else? Okay. So astrology doesn't define your worth. It doesn't limit the amount of choices you're able to make. It doesn't tell I was just watching through Lens Eyes. You might know him on YouTube. He does tarot readings. Very excellent reader, by the way. He's an excellent reader. You should go check him out. But through Lens Eyes, he even touched on the point in one of his videos recently where people were telling other people, well, he was basically making a comment about how people say don't do certain things or don't do this during the Mercury retrograde and they want to go out and make a new life for themselves. And with all this Aries energy that we're in and going to be in for the next week, the time is now to start new things and move in new directions. So even though right now we don't have any retrogrades, gratitude. But even when Mercury is retrograde, that's still a good time to move forward because it's about you tying up loose ends. You still have to make decisions. You're never should ever put your life on hold and not do anything just because it's a retrograde. The retrograde is to help you uh, dig through the things that are unfinished. Look at the patterns that you have that you're ignoring and find a way to accept it and make peace with it so you can move on and live the life that you came here to live. Okay. Another common misunderstanding about astrology is that it can predict some type of failure. Now, what we may as a human see as a failure or a mistake, really on a spiritual level, is redirection, protection, and us needing to look at the situation from a different perspective. And perspectives all tie into the mutable signs, which is, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, or the houses, the mutable houses, the cadent houses, which are the third, sixth, ninth, and 12th houses. All right, so the birth chart itself is a snapshot of the sky when you took your first breath, which is why your time of your birth is very important when looking at your chart. It also reflects how you process life. So, what other charts can be read? Like I said, you got your natal chart, electional charts, secondary progressions, solar arc, your Vedic and tropical charts. Vedic is more of an internal soul, and then your tropical or Western chart is more about what you came here to do in the world when you're pushing that energy out. So it's kind of like the Vedic is more feminine, and the tropical or Western is more masculine. If you could kind of like understand it that way, one is inner, one is outer. But you can read charts about, relationship composite charts or synergy charts. You can read charts about a business. If you are a business creator, you can, if you have a business that you've already created, you can go back and look at the date of creation. Just go look at your articles and look at the date it was created. And you can set the time to sunrise, okay? And just look at the chart of your business. When you look at the chart that was created the day your business was created, you can see the areas where it will be easier for you to pull in money, where your biggest communication pieces are, and you can use that energy to catapult your business into a space that is more profitable, because the only reason why you have a business is to profit, yes. However, how you profit, why you profit, when you profit, your chart is able to break all of that down for you. Another example of a different type of chart you can look at is if you wanted to get married, you can pull the date and time of when you would like to say your nuptials, and you can look at that chart and see what the energy is going to go on, and you can even layer it on top of your chart, or each other's chart. There are some software where you can layer probably multiple charts at one time. But for a wedding or for an event you want to host, or if there's something traumatic that may have happened to you in the past, you can go back and look at that chart as well and see how it compares to your natal chart or even the chart you have right now, and just see the angles. And the angles and the energy in the chart is only, again, astrology is a language. So it's telling you something. It's telling you how you can process the energy of that moment that took place. It's telling you how, in the progression chart, how it's still affecting you now and how you can overcome it if you're still having trouble with healing from that past. So some of the building blocks when it comes to astrology charts, the planets is what energy, the sign is how the energy is being expressed, and the house is where it shows up in your life. So for example, if you have like Mars in the first house and it's in the sign of Aries, right? So Mars is the energy, right? Mars is about the expression of the self, the expression of the ego. It is also about protectiveness. It's associated with war, right? So it is about being able to protect yourself or be defensive, as well as being a pioneer, being unique. And being in the sign of Aries, this is how it's being expressed. Aries is the sign of the self, the I am, right? So Mars is about protecting yourself and forging a new path. And you're doing that in a way that shows who you are. And that's why Aries, that Aries Mars is the domicile placement. So it's comfortable here. It has a relaxed way of expressing itself and protecting itself and making sure you know who it is. All right. And then being in the first house, if you have Mars Aries in the first house, for example, this is where that energy will show up. So it's going to show up in your physical body. You're going to want to work out. You're going to be physical. You're going to always want to move your body. You're always going to want to remain active because it allows you to express the energy that you naturally have in your body that says, I am here, I am present, your I am present. And I am is another slogan or another way of saying God, right? And it relates to our root chakra. Okay. So, with Mars being in the first house, the energy is going to show up in your personality as well. It's going to show up in your physical features. It's going to show up in how you initially express yourself with people. First house, initiation, Mars, Aries, one, all of those things are connected. All right. So we need to reframe in order to gain power here. So awareness creates our ability to make a choice. That's another reason why you want to know your astrology chart. You want to know your numbers. You want to know your cosmic spread. Because when you have full awareness and you're able to use that in your day to day life, you take back your power in making decisions, how you want to make choices, right? And choices are what restores your power to you. When someone else is making your life choices, it kind of takes your power away. And children feel that. Growing up, we felt that. Growing up, when someone else was making all the decisions and we had a disagreement, we felt like we had no opportunity to say how we feel, or we felt like, even if I did say how I truly felt, it wasn't going to matter. Or even if you were someone who were, I want to say lucky enough to tell your parents or your guardian how you wanted your life to be, and they listened to you and it sculpted your life according to that, and gave you a disciplinary plan to get you to, the top of that peak. The MC of your chart is the top of your chart, your 10th house. That's where everyone can see you, but you can also see the world from up there. Your public status is what that relates to in Saturn. And you have the option or the choice to either follow that disciplinary path or forge one that you just come up with on your own. Okay. So, and then as you go through your Saturn return, or when Saturn goes through your 10th house, that's when it kind of hits you to be more aware of yourself, what you do with your energy, what you do with your time, who you're around, because it's a reflection, or your reputation is being cemented in the minds of others. Now, on the flip side of that, we can't, literally try to control how everybody sees us. But Sun sign Capricorn knows that it takes time for the things that you want to manifest how you want. And mastery is the name of the game when it comes to the 10th house as well. So, for those who are interested in utilizing your chart to dig deeper into any childhood trauma, figure out your money issues, or how to make more advancement with the current, financial situation you already have, tapping into being able to network or figuring out any issues or growing in relationships, and also tapping deeper into creating a spiritual system for yourself, allowing yourself to grow here where you are now and expand into where you want to go. We can do all of that on one-on-one sessions. This is an 8-week course that allows you to tap deeper into your spiritual design. So with a diamond package, this is a $20,000 valued packaging that I'm speaking about right now. Like, this takes, if I was a therapist, it would definitely be like 200 an hour for 8 weeks. That's a lot of money. Okay. So this package basically includes 8 weeks of coaching. You get a workbook, and we go through teaching slides. You'll be learning practical astrology training. There's a 3 week follow up for support after that 8 weeks has finished. And you get the trilogy book, Sun, Moon, and Earth. Okay. The sun tapping into the divine feminine energy, the moon tapping into divine masculine energy, and the earth also, which taps into our manifestation or creation or creativity, because the sun, moon, and earth is its own trilogy. So it's basically, another way you can support yourself in the world around you with knowledge, ancient knowledge and wisdom. You also get a secondary progression reading as well as a natal chart reading. And for a bonus, you get one free synastry reading. Okay. So if you're looking into this, you sound interested in going deeper into learning more about your chart, even about yourself, perhaps, and what it is you came here to do, but you still feel there's a bit of a hesitation here. I just want to honestly ask you, what concerns do you actually have in regards to learning more about your astrology, learning more about yourself, your subconscious patterns, and the life you want to create for yourself? What are some concerns that you may have there? It's a great journaling prompt for people, even for myself, is to dive into what your concerns actually are. Like, what are you really worried about when it comes to understanding astrology or using it in your day life, and seeing how your subconscious mind and your conscious mind both show up in your chart, and you can have a higher self-awareness and how you choose to use it on a day-to-day basis. So now you're not just going throughout the day and allowing life to just life how it wants to. You actually are choosing with your awareness to create your life through intentional actions and making wise decisions. Okay, because we're going to be looking at your patterns. Okay. All right. So some of the stuff, I want to get into, actually pull up one of them just to go through it really quick. The weekly sessions that I have here before I go. Oh wait, so the mental power and life force activation is the name of the 8 week program. It's 8 weeks of transforming hidden patterns into conscious potential. All right, so the core promise here for this is for participants to learn how to identify unconscious energetic patterns, understand their full astrological design, and practice daily mental shifts that restore agency, optimism, and life force energy. So even the first part is about mental power and life force awareness. You are not broken, you are patterned. All right, so the learning objectives that will be for your first week should you sign on for the Diamond program. Number one, identify mental patterns as energetic habits, not personality flaws. Number two, understand life force energy as something that can be directed, not depleted. And lastly, recognize how unconscious beliefs shape anxiety, motivation, and self-trust. And somebody in here asks, they've always had social anxiety since they were a child till now, and how to get rid of it. This is a program that would help you see the patterns, where it started, how it's performing in your life right now, and how you can actually get rid of it. So the first week would be about pattern observation. So each day throughout the week of this practice, you would write one reoccurring thought or emotional reaction that you continuously have, and then the situation that originally triggered those thoughts and those emotions. So then you can take a look at how your body responded, also writing that down in your prompt. Are you tired? Do you feel tightness? Or do you get excited? Do you get angry? Things of that nature. And it's not to fix anything, it's only to make you aware of the pattern. That's all it is. It's not to blame anyone or even blame yourself. It's just to make you aware. So we get to go beyond your sun sign. Okay, in the following week after that, to look at your full energetic print. So that goes to understanding your sun sign, understanding your moon and rising, and how all those play a part in making up the personality that we all see on the outside when it's being, projected. And the moon is very intimate compared to the sun, and the rising sign, of course, that has to do more with your appearance and how you look as to how you come off to people, not necessarily really the sun sign, where it's your awareness. Okay, so your sun sign is your awareness. Your moon sign is the intimate you, the natural you, the more you of the you, and your rising sign is your appearance. You know, how you look to other people, which is why some people may call it like a mask or whatever, like that. All right, so I'm going to end it there. It was just a quick preview of the diamond. I am going to do another more in-depth webinar. Hopefully, the next time I'll be able to actually show my yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here. And in a couple months, I'll do another webinar talking about this again. But anyone who is interested, there we go. So I had a call come in and it kind of froze up a little bit, but there we go. So I had a call come in and it kind of froze up a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I thank you all who did tap in with me. This webinar is going to stay posted on me. This webinar is going to stay posted on my channel. I will do another one